Shalom, sound vibes to everyone that is viewing this. Uh, let's start in prayer. Baba, Baba Yahweh, Yahweh. We come to you today for this lesson that you have brought to my attention and for the other people's attention concerning the deeds of not following your instructions or your laws or your teachings, statutes and precepts, um, which you also brought down, and it made it from stone to flesh and living through your Son, Emmanuel Yeshua, Emmanuel Yahshua, Yahushua, Yahoshua, Yahusha. I'm saying that because there's, well, I'll get into that. May everything reach in understanding and learning and love. Selah. I went into all of those is because there's an unnecessary thing going around about the name of Yahshua. Yeshua, Yahushua, Yehoshua, Yahoshua, all of those translate to the same thing. Yah is salvation. So let's get over it. All right. Back at the ranch, we are the discussion today is Hosea 4, chapter 4, verses 1 through 12. And this is dealing with this is about what the Father is saying towards not only the church, he calling them out and then saying what he gonna do about them, basically, for not following and teaching his laws. I'll go on and say this out of the way now. Somebody, anybody Christian wise or being snarky will say, well, we're doing it now. And I'll get to that here in a little bit, but I'm going to explain how so on that end. The translation here is catered, is my own rendering. It is catered to applying to today's times and current situations. Along with, I use the New English Bible translation, and you'll see why in a minute, and I'll explain why in a minute. And but in that, as you'll see, I put Ishi there for where it says Lord. And reason being, in Hosea 3, it says that Baba longs for the day that we no longer call him Lord or Baal, but Ishi. So that's what I did. I did that. I did as Baba Yahweh Yahweh wants us to do, not by what man, well, it ain't even man, it's the anti-Messiah, has for us. I'm going to go through each verse and explain thereon. Starting with verse 1, it says, "Hear the word of Ishi, for Ishi has a case against the inhabitants of the land. There is no truth, no faithful love, and no knowledge of Yahweh Yahweh in the land." That is going on right now. Not necessarily with everyone, but particularly with the Christian community, is the truth is not being preached. There is no faithful love, and that's of the Father. Because if you're not preaching the word, it says, you love me, you keep my commandments. It also says that Baba will put his laws in your heart and you will be his people. And no knowledge also means, the doctrines and the things that that are being spoken of. They don't show, or even the celebrations show no knowledge of the word, because it's not going by what Baba says. And that's, as far as the land, that's really, worldwide, with, whichever faith that's not conducive to Yahweh, then it's, you know, all those in red is true. Verse 2, cursing, lying, murder, stealing, and adultery are rampant. One act of bloodshed follows another. Cursing, we also know it as cussing, swearing. It's really thick in like the Americas. I'm noticing like over across the waters, that's not so much. Maybe in Europe, in the European countries, but I've noticed that the rest of those countries aren't really indulging in that. Now, I can't speak for the stand countries because I don't know much about them. But like Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, those countries, because you just don't see any information or even hear about those countries much, if any. But from what I've gathered from the other ones, the other Asian and Afro-Asian countries, is potty mouth isn't really a thing there. That's more of an American. I'm seeing it American, European type thing. Maybe not even South America, but definitely North American and in Europe. And we know that goes on today. Verse 3, for this reason the land mourns and everyone who lives in it languishes, along with the wild animals, birds, and fish. Basically, we all suffer, and even the land is suffering. And because of this, and the reason being is we're not following the Creator, who created all of these things listed in verse 3, including us. So they know, so all of this knows that who's really running things right now. But let no one dispute, verse 4, but let no one dispute or argue, for my case, meaning Yahweh, is against you priests. So when y'all sitting up here, y'all attack for these that out here that go against me and other folks that are trying to follow the word correctly, you picking a fight with us, but in actuality, you picking a fight, or you picking, or whatever the case is, you going against the Almighty, the utmost high. And he's letting you know, I'm taking it personally. In verse 4, you will stumble by day and your prophets by night. That's talking about when you up in that pulpit and night service and the preachers that you call prophets. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Yah will reject you as his priests, since you have forgotten the laws of Yahweh. I will also forget your sons. That's verse 6. It's saying that covers everyone, both Hebrew and Gentile. For the simple reason is because Yah desires for all of us to be his children, to be his flock. And this lack of knowledge destroys us, or proper teaching. And Yah will reject you. So right now, y'all pastors and bishops and whoever else, if y'all ain't preaching the laws, y'all ain't even of the Father, like you claiming to be or trying to be, according to what Yahweh is saying. I don't know who y'all are, which goes to, y'all can think of the verse that goes to, because you have forgotten the laws. It's some of them say teaching, some translation says the teachings, instructions, but the most of them say the laws of. So, and I will also forget your son. So that means he ain't even paying attention to your children don't even count. The more they multiply you, the more you have sinned, the more you sin against Yah, and will change your honor, and Yah will change your honor to disgrace. So the more y'all multiplying, teaching this, and, you getting more people in, baptizing and getting saved and everything under this lawlessness, just keep it up. Really is going on now, because the truth is coming out. Your honor is being turned to disgrace at this very moment. Verse 8, you batten on the sin of the people whom have an appetite for their own transgressions, meaning you're profiting. Batten means fatten, fatten. Another translation says you feed on the sin of the people. So you making all these mega churches and all, these pastors got these nice mansions and planes and mega sized churches and all this other stuff. This is what you're feeding off of, the sins of your congregations. But they ain't out of the woods, because it says that they have an appetite for these sins and transgressions, and they have an appetite for them, which I know that to be true, because look at society today. Everything is sinful. It's drenched in sin, and that's what we thrive off of. Well, I ain't gonna say me or the people that are actually trying to follow, but that's what but I can say from past journeys, yeah, like I can give example is like a friend, like, I mean, just like the songs, it don't have the Father in it. Most of them, if they do, they just mentioning the Father. They're not mentioning, or they're not really giving no real credit. When you go in the restaurants or the stores, what music is playing? It ain't nothing talking about the Father. Most of your TV stations, about 90-95% of your TV stations are not of the Father, but the ones that are Christian stations, they don't count either, because they're not preaching of the Father. And so, but that's on y'all. Y'all know what it is. Verse 9, the same punishment will happen for both congregation and clergy, for your ways, and repay for your deeds. So guess what? Y'all can't sit up here and say, oh, we don't know what a pastor preached us wrong and nothing like that. Nope. Baba ain't going. Amen. Yeshua ain't going, because he gonna be the judge anyway, because y'all going against him as well, because he's a walking living laws, the high priest, just like it was in Torah. Right now he's living Torah. That's another thing people don't realize. The high priest was in there. So you'll figure it out. That same punishment, Congregation, y'all not exempt. Y'all gets it too. Verse 10, you will eat and not be satisfied. You will be promiscuous, but not multiply, for you have abandoned devotion to Ishi. You feasting on, you feasting on your own doctrine. You eat on the word, but you're not satisfied, because you're not following the word. So I'm not, the holiday, your celebrations, how your doctrines. That's what promiscuous is. That's the promiscuous part of it. Is you're not following, because Ishi means my husband. When you decide to be a follower of Yahweh, you've married him. He's your husband. So I don't know what else to tell y'all on that. Now this is the word, and these are the words coming out of Ishi or Haya. On here, I put this right where I put Yahweh. That's from where they put God. But on actuality, what I should have done was put Haya instead of because that's the honorific title that the burning bush sent. So you will repay. You have abandoned devotion, saying that the laws are done away with. You've abandoned it, celebrating anything that isn't written in the Father to be celebrating or commemorating or uplifting. Guess what, people? You've abandoned that devotion to Ishi. You cheating on your husband. All right. Now the last two I had to put on, as you see, I had to put it on someone else. But I ended up sneaking in 13, and I'm explaining to you in a minute. Verse 11, promiscuity, wine, and new wine have taken away your understanding. Ding, 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 ding. You done left your husband, or you messing around on your husband, Ishi, Yahweh. Wine and new wine. That's the doctrines, or the labels, the doctrines that you have been going by, and the new wine is these new ones with the saying that the laws are done away with, and whatever else is new. Or what's the other one? It's for the Hebrews and not or it's for Yasharal and Yehuda or Yehuda, and not for us. That's crazy as all get out to be saying that. First of all, it's all Hebrew because it's all written by Yasharal and Yesharal and Yehuda. But it also says that Baba says that one law for both Hebrew and Gentile. This is also reinstated throughout the New Testament. I'm silent for a second for y'all to think about what you're saying. And then, most importantly, Emmanuel, our Yeshua, Yahushua, Yahusha, JC, whoever you want to, whatever you want to call him by, the branch is Hebrew. Not only is he Hebrew, he's so Hebrew, he spoke Aramaic, which is what everyone spoke before splitting from Yesharal to Yehuda. Then Yehuda picked up Hebrew. So, yeah, that ain't making sense to me, but it definitely has taken away your understanding. I know that much. Verse 12, you consult wooden carvings, and I put Hollywood there, and their divining rods inform them. Technology, for a spirit of promiscuity leads astray. You act promiscuously in defiance of Yahweh. And we do still, people still do like wooden carvings and stuff. We call it art. But the main one is Hollywood. The technology, that would be these towers and signal towers, satellites, all that stuff. And what does this stuff do? Watching all this stuff that is actually on, even this will be your radio stations as well. Is led astray. All of this, if you notice, all of it is in defiance of the Father. Yeah, every now and then you get somebody, a program that's dealing with the Bible or whatnot, or a movie or something like that. But even that is defied, because one, it's not showing them in the right skin tone. So that's already a lie right there. Nothing against y'all white people, in a way, I look at it this way. You're just trying to show that where the Gentiles got to get a right to the piece of the pie. At least that's the way I'm gonna put it. So it shouldn't matter. But it's all that. And then verse 13, you sacrifice on mountaintops. That goes back to Hollywood. You see, they on mountaintops. All those wooden carvings is everything that they showing, or your actors. That even goes to the what it say on mountaintops. Your political figures, because you got Mount Rushmore. Really your skyscrapers, because those are basically man-made mountains. Wall Street, they got that bull. We all know what the bull goes back to. Everything. Where's Hollywood at? It's on it's on a mountain. So we got and that's just a little bit that I do know. Somebody else, they especially if they know more political whatnot, they know more way than I do. They can definitely add on to that. So y'all in a trap, and for us that are trying to follow the word, this is something we need to think about too. Like, hey, we like, and I like watching my vehicle restoration shows and justice shows and whatever else, especially the Kung Fu classics, Get Down. but in actuality, but there's a line between that, because you're in the world, but don't mean you got to be of the world. But I've have repented, and I've actually, when I was writing this down and things started coming together, I was like, you know what, I had to do me some repentance, and I'm doing some repentance now for my transgressions on that, because I know a lot of the stuff that a lot of the transgressions that I've gotten around was from people, and those people, were influenced, or the Hollywood influence. So the worldly influence I was trying to be a part of. So I do get it. I'm not, by no means, I'm pointing things out, but at the same time, I'm pointing out self too, where I done messed up along the way, and participated in all of this. But praise the utmost high Yahweh, that he sent his son, the branch, the high priest, and found and showed favor to me and patience, and said, hey, I ain't gonna worry about it. You gonna come to me. I already see it. You gonna come back to me. And then along the way, here's Emmanuel, hey, guiding me, teaching me, and walking with him. Hiya, maha. Praise ya. Hiya. Thank ya. So we gonna but just be grateful on that end. But this is applying today, y'all, to y'all Christians. I'm like this. I don't know what y'all think I'm supposed to be believing, but be following. But according to this, what y'all teaching, Baba is severely against.